Hello, everybody. Ooh, I look lovely tonight. Hello. It's Drama Free Monday. Don't I wish? Don't I just wish? Anyway, come on in. Come on in. Somewhere there's a list here. Yes, there is. Here it is. Hi, Amber. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Angie. Chance is here too. Chance is in the house. Muppet's here too. We're all in the house. Yes, we are. Trying to get in the spirit. It's supposed to be Valentine's Day, don't you know? Trying to get in the spirit here. Holidays still suck for me, to be real honest. They just do. Hey, Linda. How's Tim? How's Linda tonight? So, Barb's trying to get in spirit, not having a great deal of success. We're just going to pretend it's not happening. Hi, Connie. Hey, Rhonda. Good to see you. Chance is here, banging his head on my cup, on my hand, holding my cup. Yeah, so... Not most of them aren't even on the list either, Amber. Hey, old hippie chick. Oh, good to see you. Connie, how are you feeling? Are you getting over your incident? Hi, Tara. You're getting a chair for your craft room, Tara. Good for you. Good for you. Hope you guys have had a good day today. I've had a day. I didn't sleep a whole lot last night. That causes issues for the following day. About 4 o'clock this afternoon, I crashed and burned for about 30 minutes. And fortunately, I had set my alarm on my phone. The alarm went off on the phone and startled me awake, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know where I was. I went to sleep so hard. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was going on. I just, I was like, whoa, wake up, kid, wake up. Hey, Renee. Haven't seen you for a while. Good to have you here. Hi, Andrea. Hello, hello. Come on in, everybody. Connie, you're feeling pretty good working with the insurance company. Isn't that a joy? Isn't that a joy? I think I told you all that a couple of years ago, not a couple of years ago, it's 4.5 years ago now. A couple of years ago, a lot of time has passed since this happened. I was driving my car, which didn't have a lot of miles on it. It was older than dirt, but it didn't have a lot of miles on it. Because I don't drive a lot. I drive a lot, but I don't go anyplace. I spend a lot of time in the car. I just don't go anywhere. Anyway, that day I was going to see my chiropractor, who keeps my spine moving and keeps my body in good order. Anyway, I was on my way to see her, and this stoplight at this main intersection, the stoplight was out because I don't know, lightning had struck it or something. Anyway, they'd put a 4-way stop, manual, like a temporary stop sign in the middle of the intersection, which means that everybody had to remember how to let the person on, the right or the left or, whoever was there before let them go. And so I made sure that everybody had had their chance to go in the intersection. It was my turn. I'm carefully looking, Did you look both ways? Yes, I looked both ways. Did I look across? Yes, I looked. It was my turn to go. So I kind of creep across the intersection, and about halfway across, I pick up some steam to get on across the intersection. And out of nowhere comes this 87-year-old lady, bless her heart, who never saw, there were stoplights up there that clearly weren't flashing, weren't doing anything, so they were not functioning. She never saw the stop sign in the middle of the intersection. She never hesitated. She never did anything. Broadsided my car on the passenger side, broke the window into 1,000 pieces, just shattered it. Fortunately, it was the kind of glass that wouldn't immediately cut you, safety glass, and rendered my car totally totaled. Totally totaled. Yeah, totally totaled. Has Chance been very vocal today? Chance is vocal every day. Every day. Yes, he is. So it totaled my car. And there was some irony in going to the chiropractor and getting my car totaled on the way. And then all these people are wanting to know if I'm hurt. And I'm like, I couldn't even, I just looked at him and said, I don't know. I really didn't. I had no idea if I was hurt. Not a clue. It happened so fast and totaled my car. Yeah. Anyway, the good news is I wasn't hurt. I ended up with a different car that was much newer. I had to buy it. But, because the other car was old, I didn't get much for it because it was old. And they totaled it, so they didn't have to pay much. Anyway, is what it is. I wasn't at fault. She was. Her insurance company had to pay for it. And that's the end of that story. And fortunately, a friend of ours had an extra car, and it was a kind of a beater car. And I had that, and I drove it for 2 or 3 months until we got a different car. And that was about the time that Clausman was really starting to have issues, and I still wasn't really processing the degree to which he was having some problems. And he couldn't help me with the car situation. It was a whole thing. Anyway, I ended up with a better car. It was all okay. All came out in the wash. The lady wasn't hurt. Surprisingly, I don't know how she didn't get hurt, but she didn't, and I wasn't hurt, and so there you go. Yeah. Okay, who's saying what here? Just reading the chat. I know, Amber says those are the best and also the weirdest sleeps. It really is. When you go to sleep like that, where you're so sound asleep and you don't know where you are or who's on first. It's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, for real, old hippie chick, my car and I were totally protected that day. Totally protected. Because it got me. And I was sad about that. I was sad about my car. I was sad to lose my car. My car and I were good friends. It didn't have a heater in it, but we were good friends. It had an air conditioner. Well, it had a heater. It just didn't always work. Okay, let's put this kitty away. Put you in the dark. I just found this sitting on my table in there. This is a color copy of some of the Goofy Relatives. I'm having an Americano to try to wake myself up. See if I can fold this where you can see these guys, because I drew half of them going one direction and half the other direction. I think I did them for a zine or something. Anyway, so I thought, I'll just show them to you. So this is a color copy. And I didn't even remember exactly doing these. It's been a while. So these, I didn't even color in their shirts or the accessories. I just added them. It looks like these are done in pencil. This must have been my tester or something. I don't know. Well, I folded that one. I folded his hat down. Yeah, this must have been the test one that I was doing. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, I kind of like them just with the drawings of the hats and shirts. I like her. Anyway. There you go. Okay. So on Friday, first of all, let me tell you that Lena, hi Barbara Clark. I'm going to put my address in the chat here. My mailing address. See if I can get it right this time. Okay. There is my mailing address in there, written in the chat. So Lena, who is one of our, it's Miss Linux 2010, who is one of our fellow streamers, is having a lot of issues with her hands and not able to do a lot of streaming right now. So if you guys want to send her a card, you can make it, or you can buy one, or you can do whatever you want, or you can write her a letter. Anything that you'd like to do, just to keep it thin, really thin, because I'm going to put everything hopefully in one package, and I'm going to send it to her by the end of March. And she's in Denmark. I have her address. I will not give her address out, but I will be a collecting point, and I'll gather all the things. And there may be other streamers that are doing that, which is great. But feel free to send things to me that'll give you some time to make something if you want. Keep it small, keep it flat if possible. I mean, you could make a paper doll, you can make a something to hang in a window, a paper ornament of some kind to hang in a window or hang in her studio or whatever. Just make her a card. Send them to me and I will send them out the light. The last part, sorry about my throat. I haven't talked a lot today. You can send them to me. I will send them the end of March. Okay? So get busy and make another streamer feel better. Let's see. Okay, I'm just checking the chat. Oh, perfect, Barbara. Thank you. Oh, I am glad to do it. If you want to put in a little bit of extra postage, it's fine, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hi, Brooke. Lena, Miss Linux 2010. That's her channel name. Okay. So, I am happy to do that. I heard from her the other day. She actually left a comment on the stream from Friday. If you guys want to go back and read that, you can. She was very sweet about it and a little overwhelmed that we were going to do that for her. She said that receiving was challenging for her, and I can relate to that because receiving from people is challenging for me too. There you go. She is having problems with her hands, Brooke. She has, at least that's what I understand. So maybe somebody in the chat knows more than I do. Okay, so I told you that I didn't sleep last night, which means I'm not, well, I slept. I just didn't sleep very well. And you know how it is when you don't sleep so well, you're not rested when you finally wake up. And when you finally wake up is really when you want to sleep the rest of the day. Yeah, you know, I went to sleep really soundly about 6. I'd slept off and on until then. And when I really went to sleep, it was about 6 this morning. That's when I wanted to sleep. The alarm went off at 6:30. And then I fought with the alarm for about an hour before I finally gave in and got up. Anywho, so if I seem a little draggy, it's because I am, and that's why. So, yeah. All right. Ba-boom, boom. Okay. Hi, Nanette. Good to see you. So I thought what we would do tonight, well, first of all, let me show you the book journal that I covered, and then we were playing around with coloring it, adding color to it on Friday. I was working with a new product. It was new to me, which was watercolor ground. I had never bought any of that, so I bought some. I put it on this notebook because I didn't know how it would work. I had no clue, not a clue. And then I painted it using Inktense blocks. And so this is how it turned out once I got it finished. And this is just an image. This is the word that I'm kind of concentrating on this year, which is thrive. And this is from, oh, who is this? Inspirivity. INSPIRIVITY. Inspirivity on Instagram. And I'm assuming this is all digital art, but I really don't know. But she does, and I don't even know if it's a she. I'm just guessing. Inspirivity puts out wonderful images like this, and often with a word or a short saying in it, a short quote. And so it's on here just so I know what the front cover of the book is. Hey, CB. Exactly, CB. I can sleep at your house because both of us aren't normal. No, that, you know, CB, that's, that probably goes without saying, doesn't it, girl? Hi, Malia. You're lurking and sorting thread. Okay, you sort away, girl. Hi, Franna. Okay. So this is what I did. It's all done with the Inktense blocks, and then I went back and I just did some loose outlines with a black paint pen, and I painted the background, which I'm sure you can't even tell, but the background is painted orange on this one, just to kind of blend things together. That's the front cover. This is the back cover. You can see the background a little bit more on this one. So this background I've filled in with yellow, also from the Inktense blocks. So that is that. Then I bought another product, which is called Dorland's Cold Wax, which was also something I was not familiar with. So I decided to put that over the top of this just because I wanted to see how it worked. Well, I put too much. I put on too much. And if you put on too much, it leaves it kind of feeling kind of tacky. Not my favorite. I don't think it's the product. I think it was user, I think it was operator error. Anyway, so there is, from a distance, maybe you can see it a little bit better, that the background's painted. Not really. It is more orange than what it's showing up on the camera. Anyway, so there's the back. Brooke says she often feels tacky. I know, right? That's why I like you guys, because we often share many of the same emotions. Anyway, cheers to everybody. Is anybody here familiar with Dorland's Cold Wax? Let's see where it is. It is for waterproofing. Oops. I almost messed myself up here. I have a little device that helps me switch the camera shots and almost messed up. Dorland's Wax Medium. Sorry, it's not cold wax, it's Wax Medium. That's the technical name. It's for waterproofing It's a waterproofing protective top coat for watercolors, gouache, acrylics, oils, and more. It's by the company Jacquard. Seals artwork against moisture and protects against smudging and dust. Increases color depth and provides a uniform matte finish for paper, canvas, wood, plastic, metal, photos, collage, clay, and more. For a satin finish, buff gently once completely dry, 24 hours. And see, I buffed it before 24 hours were up. Add powdered pigments, dyes, other dry media, or alcohol inks to tint and for special effects. Mix with oil colors to thicken and matte out, and for cold wax painting techniques. Dorland's Wax resists cracking and dries faster than the unadulterated oil colors. So anyway, that's what it says down here in the fine print. Are you impressed that I could read that? You should be. It's little bitty print. Anyway, so operator error, I'm sure. Rhonda says she's heard many other crafters talk about it and they really like it. Yeah, I'm sure it was just an operator error. Malia says, cheers to all of us tacky folks. Exactly. Yes, don't we all often feel a little tacky, especially this time of day? Linda says she uses it often. Buff it out if you use too much. So if I keep buffing, do you think, Linda, do you think if I keep buffing, I'll eventually get rid of the tackiness? Old hippie chick couldn't read that little printing. Okay, thanks, Linda. That's good. I'll keep buffing on it. Of course, I put the photo on it, you know, because I want to be able to easily see the front cover, so I put this photo on it. Of course, that didn't stick. It came right off. So I used 3-in-1 Beacon 3-in-1 glue. It's a solvent-based glue, so I used that. So far, it's sticking. You know, I knew it wouldn't stick. Anyway. Red is my color. Is Sandy here? Is it old hippie chick Sandy? I know you probably told me 4 times and I don't remember. Thank you. Like I said, I'm trying to get into the mood for the holiday. And I also said, basically, holidays still are a little on the sucky side for me. So I'm kind of like, just put on some clothes. Just act. Just act like it's a good time. Just act like it. Okay, Brooke. Okay, thanks, Sandy. Thank you. I had a teacher one time that taught me the concept of act as if. So you're supposed to act as if you felt good. Act as if things were good. You know, when you didn't feel like it, act as if. I'm acting as if. Anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. It's like fake it till you make it. It is. It is. Okay. So I'm going to show you this little book I did. A lot of the things I have shown you recently are things that I've done in classes on HowToGetCreative.com. And that this is no exception. And I think we'll use some things from this tonight for what I kind of have planned. Honestly, I don't know where it's going to go, so we'll just see. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I said, she wanted to know what I was going to do tonight, or it was actually Friday. She wanted to know what I was going to do on Friday, and I said, I have no idea. And she said, you have no idea? I said, no, I don't. I have no idea. She said, how, that would drive me crazy. How can, oh, she said, that just makes me worried. I'm like, well, hey, don't worry, because something always happens. Either that or I cancel. I don't cancel very often. And something usually shows up, or somebody in the chat says, I'd like to see you do X, and I usually do X, right? Mina, hello. Yay, Mina. All right. Okay, I was just checking the chat. All right, so this little book that I'm going to show you, I actually made the book, and as all of my journals, it just has a bunch of stuff stuck in it. I made this journal, I think it was in one of the groups on website. This is one of my mandalas, shrunk down and printed on sticky back canvas again, so I know where the front of the journal is. You'd think that I could remember because the covers are very different. However, not so. So this is to create a library of patterns, and this was, so what we did is we made the little book. It is a glued together, it's a glue bound book. And some of the glue bound pages are coming loose a little bit because I've had it around for a while. And so you'll see some tape here and there holding pages in. This was a random mandala. All I did on this was find the center, so the pages are square. I just started in the center and then just grew the mandala from the center. So it's done on white pen and gold pen, and this is text weight paper. So it's just black text weight paper. So this has a library of designs. Some of them are Zentangle patterns, some not. And then we did leaves. I'm going to get the leaves out of here, and then we'll talk about them. We'll look at those in a second. And this was just a neat design. This design right here was one of them that I drew right there. So this was an interesting card that somebody sent me. Oh no, must have been one I bought. Or somebody sent it to me and for me to send to somebody else, and instead I kept it for the patterns because I do things like that. Anyway, so this is just a collection of various little doodads and designs. And then we got into doing leaves at one time. I'll show you some of those. More designs. Just little designs. Some of these are Zentangle, bonafide Zentangle patterns. Some not. Some are just, like this is drawing lace, which is fun to do. To draw a lace design is fun to do. That's another, this is a better example of a lace design. You can see here this glue bound, it's wanting to come apart. So while we're here, we'll just see, I don't mind doing stuff like this. It doesn't bother me at all. If something comes apart and I don't want to lose it, then I just put in some tape. That works. More little designs and more and more and more ideas for little borders, filler patterns, etc. So it's fun if you have things like this in your, I think that was it, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, and there's another, is this from someone? Well, this was from a friend of mine, but it had some really interesting little designs on it, so I kept it, stuck it in the book, because that's what I do. And these were from a different class that we did, different from making the book. So this was practicing the leaf. These were actual leaves that I turned into cardstock leaves. So I took these from leaves, real leaves, and did them in white because I like white on craft, and then shaded it with graphite. They're fairly delicate even though they're on cardstock because of these little stems. This one wasn't very successful. This was done on orange cardstock. It looks like it's been run over by a car with a muddy tire. This one is better, just white on orange. This, I just wanted to see what it would do if I shaded it with graphite. And I often keep the mistakes like the, you know, some people might like this, I don't. But I will keep those just because it's good to have a record. So these are all the same shape. This was a sweet gum leaf, as I recall. These are all hand cut. This one, I don't think I have the actual leaves here. These are real leaves. So these are actual leaves that, as I recall, I coated with matte medium, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. But this is an actual real leaf. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Bless me, as the APG Jamie says, bless me. Thank you, thank you. Clausman used to ask me why it was you always had to blow your nose after you sneezed. Maybe some smart person in the chat knows the answer to that. I don't, but it's pretty much true. Anyway, so this is a real leaf here. And I did the same thing. I coated it with something. I think it was matte medium, but I am not absolutely certain. And then just drew on it with pens. Looks like paint pens, but it could have been gel pens, maybe gel pens. I don't know. I'd have to go back. And I've slept since then. I would have to go back and look at the video to see what I did. This one is cardstock. You can see why it's valuable to have a library of patterns, because if you want to fill things with patterns, then you have resources to look at. And then these are little bitty oak leaves. One on red cardstock, the other craft colored, one shaded a little bit with graphite, and one not. Different effects. Same, basically the same patterning, but two different looks. So, there you go. Okay? So those were, these are the leaves. The veins are put in just by impressing them with a stylus and then dividing them up and doing the pattern work. Okay, so that's kind of the concept. So I'm going to have that off to the side, and I'll probably use that tonight, because what I thought we would do is I took a bunch of the hands that I showed you before, So these are hands that I cut out from the masks. These masks that I bought 100 years ago for $1.43. They were originally only $3.99, so you can see how long I've had them. I cut these out of different papers that I had and glued them onto this, which is a piece of rice paper. Glued them on using glue stick, and then I thought from that, Sandy, you need to just make you one. So then I thought we would just do some doodle work on them, because I think that's what my brain can handle tonight. Yep, I think that's what my brain can handle. Going to have a little more, let's have a little more reinforcement. The sneeze loosens it up. Could be. All right. Hi, Starla. Good to see you. I don't know which one was the sycamore leaf, to tell you the truth. So, I know I did know at one point, but there is so much stuff that goes on inside my brain that I've been accused of remembering everything, but that is not true, as is clearly evidenced here. Okay, so let's pick out a pattern. I have some more did you knows. We did not get through all of those on Friday. We'll do a couple more today. So I'm going to pick out I've got all my gel pens here on the desk. My desk is an absolute disaster. I was working in here last night, and you know how it is, your space starts out nice and big, and then it just kept coming in and in and in and in. And by the time I got done, I had this tiny little, 6x6 space that I was working in. But I had a very creative several hours, which is good, because I needed to get a bunch of stuff done, and by golly, it was good. I did. All right, I'm just grabbing some of my pens here. Gel pens, jelly roll pens. So we'll get some over here. All right, so let's see what we can come up with. Let's start with, because why not? Let's start with, I think we'll start back here with this one. So I'm just going to turn it around, and I'm going to get some paper to act as a cushion. So this is just a few pieces of scrap paper. And let's play with this one. And I think the first thing I want to do is I want to do a loose outline around it, because a loose outline is better than trying to be too precise. If you're too precise, it ends up feeling, well, then if you make a mistake, it looks like a mistake. So I tend to like loose outlines. I'm using a Micron Pigma pen. It's a PN, which stands for plastic nib. It is a hardier nib than the felt tip nibs. And what's on the background of this is acrylic paint, so it is bumpy. It is bumpy. Okay, so first step, I got a wonky outline that just kind of helps to bring it to the foreground. And actually, while I'm doing that, maybe I'll do the rest of these, because I think that that would be a good first step. And since I don't really have a plan about this, we're just going to wing it. So today, I don't know about you guys where you live, but where I live, we had this giant stupid, and I do mean stupid thing go on in the city government. I don't know how long ago. It's been several years ago now. Over trash bags. Okay? Yeah. Of all the dumb things in the whole world to get wigged out about, trash bags. I live inside the city limits, and so, of course, you have to do, because every community is different about their trash pickup. And, you know, some places they have trash cans, and you have to pull the trash can out to the street, but it can't be just any trash can. It has to be a city certified, bona fide trash can. Well, in our case, it's not trash cans, it's trash bags. And so our city tells us for years they have provided vouchers for trash bags, and so you could get so many trash bags. You'd think I could do this and talk at the same time. It's a good thing that my goal is to have a wonky outline, isn't it? So they would send out vouchers in the mail. Who knows how much money this costs the city? I don't have any idea, but of course they pass the cost right along to the consumer. So, you know, we go and we buy black trash bags, and we put, you know, your junk goes in the black ones, and then you have blue ones for the recycling. But if you put anything in the recycling bag that's not meant to be recycled, then you have to take the blue bag and put it inside a black bag, because then they'll pick it up. But if it has anything inside the blue bag that's not meant to be recycled, they will reject it, because they can see through the blue bag. You see, they're very picky about this stuff. Sorry about the nose. We're all friends here. We all know that you have to blow your nose. Right? So anyway, it went like that for years and years and years. I've lived in this house almost 33 years. Yeah, almost 33. 32 and a half to be exact. And it's always been that way. And then I was taking care of Claus Man, and I was using a lot of trash bags. And then all of a sudden one day, I got a note put on my trash bag. And the note said, it was not on the trash bag. It was a note, must have been stuck in the mailbox or something. Because anyway, they collected the trash, but there was a note. And it said, "We picked up your trash today, but we will no longer pick it up because you're not using city-approved trash bags." And I'm like, what? Sure enough, when I wasn't looking, they changed the rule. Okay, they changed the rule. This is a long, stupid story, by the way. With a happy ending. Okay, so I'm going to come across here and here. So, me, myself, and I called the city, and I said, "What are they talking about?" I said, "What is this?" I said, "These are the same bags. These are your city-approved bags." And the lady on the phone says, "Oh, no, that's been changed. We can't, they have to have the city name, the city and state name on the trash bag now. Has to be it's screen printed on the new bags." I said to her, "Well, I just got these other bags. What am I supposed to do with those? I can't use these to use them up?" And she says, "Oh, no, you can't use them up. You have to use as of the first of the month, which I had missed the whole thing because I was busy. I was really busy then, folks, and you can't use those. You have to use the new bags. And I said, where do I get the new bags? Well, we sent out vouchers. I said, well, I don't believe I got any new vouchers. Well, look in your mail, because if you don't have them, you should be getting them. I said, well, what am I supposed to do between now and then? Well, you'll have to borrow some from your neighbor. To make a long, stupid story shorter, I think it was about that day in the mail, sure enough, there was a voucher for the new and improved bags, which the only difference is they have the city and state name screened on them. And on top of that, they have, a different color tie at the top. Still black bags. And I'm like, this is going to take the trash collectors forever to have to check and make sure that everybody's using the city approved bags. And this is just incredibly stupid. Anyway, I went and got my city approved bags, and indeed I did use them, but they didn't give you as many bags with the screen printed thing on it as they did for the other ones. See, not only did you not get as many bags, but now if I ran out, because I called the city back, waited in line for a very long time, listening to Muzak, and I said, I'm going through, because the way that it was, you were only allotted 2 trash bags. Now, for some people, that would have been fine, but that was not enough bags for what was going on around here. And so I said, I'm going to run out of bags. And I said, what am I going to do when I run out of bags? And she says, very nicely, she said, you can contact the company that makes the trash bags. And you can buy some from them. And I said, how much do those cost? And she said they're sold in quantities of 5 bags for $10. And I nearly had a stroke. I nearly had a stroke. I'm going to pay $2 for trash bags. I said to the lady, that was when I kind of lost control. And I said, ma'am, I'm taking care of a husband who is not in good shape. We are going through a lot of trash bags. And I'm going to go through this quantity of trash bags in nothing flat. And I, quite frankly, cannot afford to pay $2 for a trash bag. And then here's the kicker. And this makes me so angry about myself. I started crying. I did. Start crying. Now she's feeling bad. I didn't intend to cry. It turned out to be an effective strategy, but that wasn't what I intended to do, And she said, just a minute, let me put you on hold. Oh, that's a lovely thing to have happen. They put you on hold, okay? So I'm on hold forever, listening to more Muzak. And she finally came back on, and she said, I got approval. Approval, she said. She said, I got approval to send you another voucher. And she said, so you'll have another voucher for another set of trash bags. And she said, hopefully that will get you through until the next set of vouchers is mailed out, which was going to be 6 months later. So we were going to get 2 sets of vouchers 6 months apart, which under ordinary circumstances with the old bags was fine because I could just go in the grocery store and buy, big old fat roll of bags for $6. Big old fat roll of bags. No, it wasn't a problem, right? I got to glue this little finger down because it's coming up. She said, hopefully that'll get you through. And I'm trying to get my act back together. Stop crying. Oh, it makes me so mad when I do that, it was like the one thing that just tipped me over the edge. Trash bags tipped me over the edge. Can you believe that? Anyway, so she says, and God bless you. And I said, thank you very much. And thank you for going to bat for me and getting me more trash bags and explaining this whole mess to me. And I said, by the way, I think this is the stupidest thing the city has ever done. And she says, don't tell anyone, but I agree with you. Okay. So this whole enormous thing, there have been, I guess, people arguing in the city council and all this stuff about these stupid trash bag, this thing. But I pay no attention to any of that stuff because my life is too short to worry about city government. It's like, just tell me what I have to do and I'll do it, right? I know, right, Rhonda? Andrea, exactly. So, okay. I tell you, the story has a good ending, by the way. I got the vouchers. I went to the grocery store because you could only go certain places to get the bags. I got another thing of bags. And then a friend of mine said to me, we hardly, just out of the clear blue, she said, we hardly use trash bags. She said, well, if we use one, every couple of weeks. And I'm like, what in the world do they do with all their I don't know. I didn't ask. They probably compost and do, whatever. And they recycle all kinds of stuff. So that's probably what they're using, is mostly recycle bags. Anyway, she says, I have extra black trash bags, city bags. Would you like them? And I'm like, yes. Because I'm now hoarding. It's like COVID and toilet paper, how everybody went into this mad panic because you were going to run out of toilet paper. Well, now I'm going to run out of trash bags. So I'm now hoarding trash bags. So I get the trash bags. I now have a stock of trash bags. I now can relax a little bit, and not worry so much. I'm still being very frugal about how much I put into these trash bags, and I'm stuffing them full. I'm being really careful, and all this stuff, and it's all good. So I've been following this protocol all this time, right? This has been going on since 2021. Okay, so we're at 2023. It's been going on. I'm looking at, wait, I gotta read the chat. I know, Barbara, I know. I know, it's just incredible. I didn't have that many, Andrea, but I was willing to have that many because I needed them. Okay, I'm just reading the chat. Rhonda says she gets mad. She cries when she gets mad too. Oh, it does. It just makes me so angry when they do that. So angry. Shu here? Hi, Shu. Anybody I didn't see? Hi, Kate. I don't know who else I didn't see coming in. Hi, Sharon. Anyway, okay. Oh, I have to laugh about it because it's just insane. The insanity hasn't stopped, okay? So every 6 months, there's a new coupon. Vouchers. They're vouchers. They're not coupons, they're vouchers, okay? Every 6 months. January and December. Except this year, it was February. Because I was kind of getting a little worried because I hadn't got my vouchers. But since it's just me right now, I'm don't need as many trash bags as I did when I was taking care of Clausman, right? All right. So, I guess it was on Saturday when I got the mail. There was my vouchers, and I thought, wow, the vouchers came. All right, I got to do this first. I literally cannot do this and talk and stay even marginally close to the hand. It's a good thing I'm doing, like I said, it's a good thing I'm doing wonky outlines here, and purposely I kind of overlap the hands. So that, because it's kind of like, I like that image. I like that image of the hands sort of interwoven. Anyway, okay. So that's where I'm starting. And truthfully, I could stop there and be very happy. I may do a wonky outline around the outside of this too, just while I'm here. Because I like me a good wonky outline, don't you? I'm sure I'm going to have to add more glue stick here and there to stick these hands down. Things sometimes don't like to stick. Glue stick sometimes does not like to stick to acrylic paint. It prefers uncoated paper to stick to. I'll get back to the story momentarily. I just need to do this. And sometimes I fall off the edge of the paper and oh well, But yeah, that thing about trying to talk to somebody when I'm when I'm really serious, or I'm really upset about something, like angry, upset, and then I start crying. Oh, that makes me so mad. Oh, that just makes it even worse. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so the rest of the story is this. The vouchers arrived on Saturday. Today, I take my vouchers because they just got here on Saturday. And they notoriously run out of these stupid trash bags quickly at my store, which is close. So I'm like, now it's the race because I got to get to the store and get my trash bags. It's like you're going to your drug dealer, except you're going to get these stupid trash bags. I feel like going to get drugs. I go to the store. I go to the place, the service desk. I'm ready. I have my coupon. I don't need the blue ones. I have a whole stockpile of the recycled blue bags. I don't need those. I just need the black ones. The proper, Oh, and I've also noticed that my neighbors across the street in the last couple of weeks have been using white trash bags, like hefty trash bags or whatever, the white ones, like you put in your tall kitchen cans. Trash cans, and I'm like, why are they using white trash bags? They're not. It's like, and they have a baby, so they have a lot of trash. And I'm thinking, to myself, they're not gonna pick up their trash because it's not in city approved bags with the logo and the city and state screen printed on. Their trash is not gonna be picked up. And I never thought anything about it except that thought's been through my mind a couple of weeks, right? So I go to the service desk today. Hold on. Mina wants to know if she wonders if there's a black trash bag black market in my city. Yeah, I'm sure there is somewhere. Okay, so I was not the only one that was upset about this whole thing, obviously, because when I go to the service desk at the grocery store today to pick up my allotment of trash bags, the lady behind the desk, I step forward. I was the only person there. She's behind the desk, and I hold up I just handed her the vouchers, and she goes like this. I'm like, it's not a gun. It's just a voucher. She goes, we don't have any. And I said, do you know when you'll be getting some? Because I'm not out, So I just don't want to run out because, it's like toilet paper. Okay, you don't want to run out, I said, do you know when you'll have more? And she said, no, we have no idea. She said, we have our blue ones. And I said, well, I don't really need the blue ones. She said, neither does anyone else. I'm like, okay. And then the guy that was behind the counter with her proceeds to have a discussion between the two of them about how stupid this is. And I said, well, I couldn't agree more. I said, what am I supposed to do about this? You know, she said, I suggest that you call the city and complain. And I thought, oh no, I've been down that rabbit hole. I've chased that rabbit. I'm not chasing that one again. I didn't say that, but I thought it. And I said, well, I said, well, I wonder what people are doing if they can't get I said, do you know where they have trash bags in the city? And she says, nope. She says, as far as I know, there aren't any. Like, how is this going to work? You know, I'm just kind of standing there. I'm just like totally, you know, amazed at the whole thing. Anyway, she says, well, you know, you don't even have to use those anymore. I'm like, what? She says, no, as of January 1, the city council repealed that whatever. I don't know if it was an ordinance or what it was. And now you can use your own trash bag. She said, you can use those trash bags over there, the grocery plastic sacks that they're still using here. She said, you can use those and put your trash in and put it out. They have to pick it up. Okay. So we are now back to where we were before this whole stupidity of the screen-printed trash bag fiasco started. We're back where we were before, except now the city, who is supposed to provide you a certain number of trash bags, apparently is not going to supply the trash bags. But anyway, now we don't even have to use black trash bags. We can use any trash bags. Oh, I am telling you. Yeah, CB says, Barb, a big stencil and a can of spray paint. No joke. Wait a minute. I got to show Malia's comment. You should start leaving your trash in the front yard. Yeah, can't do that. Oh, yeah, those lawmakers are real idiots these days. I mean, you guys, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. All I did, I stood there and I said, so let me get this really straight, because I'm old. I need to make sure I understand. No longer do we have to use the screen printed legal trash bags that cost $10 for 5 bags, right? We don't have to do that anymore. And she goes, nope, you can use any bag you want. I said, then why are they sending out these vouchers? And she says, beats me. True. It is true, people. It is true. Okay. I think what I'm going to do, just because I think what I'm going to do here. So you're welcome for that long, very convoluted story, which makes no sense whatsoever and is probably the most ridiculously stupid story, an example of your tax dollars not working. And it's another reason I hate getting involved in political anything. Ugh, so stupid. What did Amber say? Rhonda says, I wonder. Or Amber says, Rhonda, I wonder how some people get dressed in the morning, let alone run anything. Isn't that the flippin' truth? Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay. So that's you're welcome for that long convoluted story. You are welcome. Okay, so this is a Moonlight Jelly Roll pen, and I'm just going to try this because I really don't know what I want to do. So I think I'm just going to kind of find the sections This is purely random because of the way that the brayer put this paint down on here. So it's just kind of dividing this into sections. So let's kind of do that with the green also. No, maybe this, I don't know if this green will show up or not. Let's try it. Not really, not so much. Okay, I didn't suppose it would. That was asking too much. So we'll go to a different green. Okay. Oh, people, I'm telling you, there's just some craziness in this world. And, you know, I don't say any of that to open up a political discussion because, as we all know, this is drama-free Monday and Friday and any other day that I happen to stream. It is drama-free. But I just thought that, honestly, I thought that story was too good not to embrace and not to tell you the craziness. Because who doesn't want to envision Barb on the phone with the government lady having a big fat cry because she's scared she's going to run out of trash bags. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, yep, my goodness. That's crazy. Crazy. All right, let's see if we can embrace some purple in here because why not? So that's the story of the trash bags. That's the stupid story of the trash bags. And you're welcome for helping you to know that maybe your city is not as goony as the one here might be. So I'm just picking up shapes within this. Do this. Just picking up some shapes in the background because I can. And because it doesn't really matter. You know, if I get done with this and I don't like it, I'll throw it away. All right. And there is, let's see what this color is. These are all Moonlight pens. Okay, that's kind of an orangey brownish color, so I'm going to use some of that in here. Oh, that's good on this. Oh, surprisingly, that's a big surprise because I normally don't like this color very well. Yeah, so that was the story of that. I don't get worked up about much. Unless I'm feeling threatened about running out of something that I shouldn't be running out of. You know, I spent more than a year sitting on a razor blade's edge, not knowing what was going on or what was going to happen or anything else. And so it quite frankly didn't take much to tip me over the edge. Anyway, so there you go. The story of the black trash bag. Do you have any questions about the black trash bag? I told you everything I know about that. Hey, Christine. Amber says Barb's been holding out on the good stories. Yeah, that's one of the better ones. Hey, Dana. I'm just looking at the chat for a second. Okay. Let's do some icebreaker cards. Oh no, let's do some of these. Okay. Okay, you're right. Here you go. This is a good one. Hi, Christine. Oh, you're very sweet, Christine. Thank you for the super chat. That was really sweet. Thank you. Here you go. This is information that you never wanted to know. You never thought about. You never even questioned, I can guarantee. Most people produce enough saliva in their lifetimes to fill 2 swimming pools. 2 swimming pools. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go swimming in a swimming pool full of spit. However, anyway. All right. Your eyes blink around 20 times a minute. That's over 10 million times a year. It's time to be grateful for your eyelids, people. It's time to feel grateful for your eyelids. They work very hard. If you walked for 12 hours a day, it would take the average person 690 days to walk around the world. 12 hours a day. If you walk 12 hours a day, 690 days to walk around the world. I don't think your feet would hold out that long. Do you? Mine wouldn't. 12 hours a day. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. So, icebreaker. Okay, you ready? They are underpaid for all that work, aren't they? Okay. City or country? I don't know what that means. I live in the city. I guess that means where do you live? City or country? That's what the icebreaker card says. So put in the chat. Hi, Ann. So put in the chat, city or country? How many steps that would be, Rhonda? I don't know. Somebody here will figure that out, I'm sure. Next one. Do you get up early or stay up late? Or both? Rhonda is country. Shu is city. Sandy is country. Andrea is viddy. Country-ish. City girl all the way is CB. Or both. There you go. Okay, so the question here is, do you get up early or do you stay up late? Or both? Because pretty much most of the time I think I could fit into both on that. All right. Let's go back down here to the table. All right, so I'm thinking what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go back to this now that I've subdivided it. And I think, let's see what this color is, this blue. You can't go by the lids on these. They're not totally accurate. Actually, I think I'm going to go to the black pen because I want it to be kind of wonky. Both and some days neither. There you go. Hi, Jean. Depends on your work schedule. Oh, this is good. You guys are putting some great answers in there. Kate gets up early. A lot of people are getting up early. A lot of people are both. Some people are late, staying up late. Both. Yeah. So that's pretty much me. Pretty much I am kind of a both kind of person. And then if I can squeeze it in like today, you know, I will almost every day I will sit down at some point in the afternoon and put my feet up. Literally, I put my feet up. I don't know what that helps with, but it does help. And sometimes putting the feet up it just, I will crash like I did this afternoon. Man, I crashed so hard. I didn't know where I was or what was going on when I came to at all. Anyway, so I highly recommend that you put your feet up and that you stop for a little bit in the afternoon if you can. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same pen that I used here, and I'm just going to do lines. Wonky lines, okay, close together. I'm just heard the clock chime. I have a clock. It's a grandmother clock as opposed to a grandfather clock, which means that the size is different. It's not as big as a grandfather clock. That's why it's called a grandmother clock. Trivia that no one wanted to know. It's made from walnut that was farmed on Clausman's grandfather's farm. And he made the clock, okay? He made 2 of these grandmother clocks, one for his grandparents and one for us. And periodically, this grandmother clock would get itself confused, and Clausman knew how to fix it. Would you like to know one of the things I don't know how to do? I do not know how to fix the bloody clock. And so it is 15 minutes after the hour right now, and it chimes the next hour on the clock. So if it's 7 right now, it should chime 7:15. Okay, it should chime that. But instead of chiming 7:15, it's 45 minutes ahead, and it chimes 8 o'clock at the 15 minutes after the hour. Doesn't matter what I do to the darn clock, it's going to chime that. I can stop it. I can, I can let it run down. I can, reset it. Doesn't make any difference. It's going to chime. And it, it doesn't even help that that it's, you can't stop it and change the hour. And about once a week or every other week, I look in there and the minute hand has fallen off. First world problems. So anyway, yeah. I know everybody is they're feeling so sorry for me for my problems with my clock chiming the wrong time. You just don't realize how much you get used to somebody doing something until they're not around to do it. And then you go, well, should have been more grateful about that, shouldn't I? Definitely should have been more grateful for that. Okay, so I'll show you what I did so far. So all I did was just take this little section and just those sections that I created, I'm just making lines go different directions. That's what I'm going to do. All right, another icebreaker. Tara is country gal, early bird. Sleep is overrated. Well, it's not really CB, but it is sometimes hard to come by. Shu is a country person but lives in the city. Ah. I love reading your answers. You guys are fun to watch. Barb, is there a clock person near you that you could call? Yeah, there is, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure there is somebody somewhere. Here's the thing. The priority at the moment is the mice that are running around in the attic. I got to get the people out here to bait the attic to get rid of the mice in the attic. So that's the number one priority. Everything is a matter of flipping priorities. Anyway, okay, next one. Here you go. Rap or rock? Rap or rock? I'm going to tell you that neither is. My answer to that is neither, because I'm not a rap or a rock person. So you guys put in the chat what you say. Rap or rock? some people really surprise me as to what, what they like. I'm not fond of any of that. I'm more of a classical, because I was a piano major, classical music is what I studied. So from the time I was a kid, I really liked classical music. My favorite was the Romantic era, Beethoven, Schumann, Schubert. I also liked Impressionism. The classic era was my next favorite. With Mozart, Haydn, and so forth. So I was a weird kid because that was, when my friends were all arguing the Beatles or, who was the other one? Beatles or, wasn't the Monkees? Who was it? The Beatles or the, somebody put me out of my misery, put it in the chat. Who was the other major group when the Beatles were on popular? Who was it? The Beatles or the... Somebody help me. Put me out of my misery here. The other major rock group. There were two girls in my class, and they had this running Rolling Stones. Probably. That's probably who it was. And I mean, they would just almost have knockdown, drag-out fights. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. Spa music. There you go. Like, I don't care. It's like, I don't care. Because they're always trying to get somebody to break the tie, Like, I don't care. Rachmaninoff. I love Rachmaninoff. Yes. Tchaikovsky, Rachmaninoff, Rimsky-Korsakov. Oh, I loved all those. Russian Easter Overture by Rimsky-Korsakov. I have that in my iPhone when I want to really... Polovetzian Dances was another one that I loved. Those were two pieces I learned when I had to study music appreciation. Oh, I loved Russian Easter Overture. Oh. Gorgeous, gorgeous music. Anyway, so I never got into rock. I never bought one rock album my entire life. I know, I shouldn't admit that, right? But I sure had a library of classical music. Yes, I did. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I should come in tighter so you can see. There you go. Sorry. It's not like I can't bring you in. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Just because what I want to do is just sort of elevate the hands, and this is a way to push the background back and just kind of play with that. So what I may do is this section. I may divide this into 4 sections and pattern it differently in the 4 sections. That would be kind of fun to do. Oh, we'll see. All right. Okay, chocolate or vanilla? Chocolate or vanilla? That's the next question. Hi, Anne. Yeah, the Monkees. I like the Monkees. I mean, I like to listen to the Monkees. I think I like vanilla better than chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate person by any means. Once in a while, I have chocolate, but it's not my go-to choice of anything, really. Okay. I do prefer vanilla, I think, to chocolate. Sometimes you just gotta do mindless crap, don't you? Today's a good day to do mindless crap. I had to go get a passport today. Well, I didn't get it. I started the process. Let me just tell you what. They do not give away passports. No, they do not. You have any idea what it cost me to apply for a passport? The lady was really nice that took my picture, though. That was nice. She was very nice. $160 for one place and $50 to the other place, both of which had to be paid. I was like, well, there you go. I just, you know, I was just surprised. That's all. I don't know if that's standard. I guess it is, but man, oh man, it surprised me. Surprised me. My son's been telling me to get a passport forever. I think I should have got it 10 years ago. It'd probably been cheaper back then, huh? Yeah. Anyway, okay, let me finish this little section here. I'll draw another card. I kind of like this just with the little lines. Sorry, I know you're looking at the top of my head at the moment. Probably see I need to get my hair done. I try to get my hair done every 5 weeks. In my brokest of broke days, I still got my hair done. Except during COVID. And then in COVID, we just watched my hair just gradually turn skunk stripe down the part. That was entertaining. We just kept watching it change. But, you know, I got to a point where it was like, there's no secret that I color my hair. There's no point in making it secret anymore. Okay. Yeah, that's where I went, Jamie, to the post office. It cost me $160 plus $50. Yep. Expensive? Well, that's how much it was. I know, Rhonda. Yeah. Oh, got chocolate and vanilla. They're only good for 10 years, I know. By 10 years, I'll be dead. No, hopefully not, but, you know, I could be. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Okay, you ready? Hopefully not, but, you know, stranger things have happened. Okay, red wine or white wine, or none. Red, white, or none. Or rosé. Red, white, rosé, or none. All right. So we're going to let that happen. So I think I'm just going to carry these lines on through this purple section here. We'll get over to here and then we'll change to the next thing. One of my favorite patterns, and it's actually a Zentangle pattern. I don't know if the actual name of it is cheesecloth, but that's what it reminds me of. And it goes like this. So, you know, you make the lines as close together as you can without going over them, but you kind of give them a little wonkiness, and then you go the other way. And when you use it as a fill pattern, it truly looks like cheesecloth. It's a really effective little crazy pattern. Anyway, that's an FYI. Here it is much cheaper to get a passport and we get it by post. Oh, that's cool. Well, it wasn't cheap here, I'll tell you that. It does look like gauze, but I think they called it cheesecloth. I have it in one of my books somewhere. I don't remember where. It does look like gauze, though. It's a really neat pattern. Okay, then we're going to do this one right here. I'm going to go this way with this one. Every once in a while, when you're working with a micron pen, clean off the tip on regular paper, especially if you're working over colored pencil. You have to do it very frequently if you're working over colored pencil, because it will, if it seals over the end of the felt tip pen. Now, I don't know on these plastic nib pens, because these are, I haven't used these as much with my doll faces, but the doll faces that I did, I always used colored pencil and the micron pens, and the pens that I used the most, always used back then, were the felt tips, because I worked with the 01 and the 005 tips. And boy, if you ever let those felt tips get sealed over with the Prismacolor pencils, because they're a wax-based pencil, if you ever let them get sealed over, the pen was toast. It was absolutely toast. Okay, so we're going to come over here to this one. Rhine wine. I don't know what Rhine wine is. Okay, let's go to another one. Let's see what this one is. Minty gum. Some of these are goofy. Minty gum or fruity gum. I go for minty gum. What do you guys go for? Okay, so on this one, we're going to do little circles. Do you guys remember, is it fruit stripe gum? They may even still make that. I don't know. I liked that when I was a kid, but I don't think I'd like that at all now. I'll tell you a story about my mom. When I was a kid, actually I was probably, I don't know, junior high or high school. I went to a school that was, and I'm sure I've told this to you guys before, but I went to a laboratory school. Okay, we were lab rats. Our school was associated with the university. It was on the same campus with the university. And that it originally started out, I believe, as a school for most of the student teachers would do their student teaching at the lab school. And it had all the kids, grades 4-year-old kindergarten through seniors in high school in one building. It was a step up from the one-room schoolhouse. We had individual school rooms, but small classes. My parents switched me to this school when I was in 5th grade for reasons known to them, which I never thought to ask. Why did you move me to this school from the public school system? Anyway, and I was miserable. I cried every day after school the first year that I was there, and then I eventually adjusted to it and stayed there through high school. Anyway, we had, and this was back when things were not as tightened down as they are now. Nobody had phones. I mean, we had a phone booth at school, and you had to stand in line to use the phone booth, and then everybody would get all upset if you stayed on the phone too long. And it wasn't anything that you paid, it wasn't a paid phone booth, but yes, back in the good old days. Anyhow, what was I going to tell you about that? Oh yeah, so we could leave the campus for lunch, and we didn't have a long time for lunch. I don't know, maybe 40 minutes or something. And there was this little bitty grocery store across the street from my school, and they sold candy there, and of course that was a big seller for college kids and high school kids and all that. And they sold one of their candies that they had were Jawbreakers. which were nothing but just pure sugar and coating, and I mean, probably rot your teeth in a heartbeat, but they tasted good. And they were individually packaged, and my mother loved those jawbreakers. And so periodically, she would give me like 25 cents and whisper to me to bring her some more jawbreakers. Hey Esther, good to see you. And so I would go get her a fresh stash of jawbreakers. Yeah, that was my mom. She liked jawbreakers. They were good. They truly were good. You didn't dare chew those or they would break your teeth. Okay, so I'm going to, just to break this up, I'm going to leave these purple sections and these, I think these orange sections, I'll leave those alone and not put these little circles out there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add a few bigger circles. That would be good. We'll do that. Okay, and then we'll add some other ones. And then we'll fill in. So my mom and the jawbreakers. I don't know if my dad ever knew that she had me buying her. I mean, it's like a drug dealer, you know. Could you give me some more jawbreakers? Sure, Mom. She'd give me like 25 cents. I mean, it was like a clandestine operation, you know. I'd go get her secret stash of jawbreakers. I don't think she shared them with anybody either. I think it was her own private thing. Isn't that funny? Okay, so yeah, so that'll give it a little bit of variety doing that. Okay, another one. Yeah, that's right, Peggy, she did. She did. She loved jawbreakers, and she would have me. There was the store where I went. It was on the corner of Maryland and Conley Avenue. It was right there in the corner. It was this little dump of a store. Yeah, it was a dump. It was an absolute dump. It had low ceilings. It was a dump. I can still see the lady that ran it. You know, you could get ice cream. They had a cooler that you could get individual ice cream treats, and you could get candy, and you know, there was chips and stuff like that. But Mom and the jawbreakers, it was so funny. She loved them. And she loved to tell me the story of when she was little about the penny candy, and she'd buy some kind of chocolate soldiers or chocolate something or other that she liked to go get. You know, she'd get I don't know, 5 pennies or something. She'd go get penny candy. Anyway, she liked the jawbreakers though. Okay, the next question, smoothie or milkshake? Okay, smoothie or milkshake? I prefer smoothies. I like to make smoothies. I haven't made one in a long time. I have the thing to make it, and I made them all the time at one point. I do love me a good smoothie. I can pack a lot of stuff into a smoothie. That was one of the things that I made a lot for Claus Man, because he had a hard time chewing, and that he could handle the smoothies. He liked the smoothies until he forgot how to use a straw, and then that didn't work so well. It's like, oh, now what? Now what am I going to do? He was quite a challenge. He was quite a challenge. So, smoothie or milkshake? That's your question. Okay, so there's that little, so it's the same idea as this pattern, but just a variation of, so we'll continue that in this little space here because we can. Yeah, Mom liked her some jawbreakers. Yes, she did. That was funny. Smuggled me that money so I go get her some jawbreakers. Get her a new stash. I don't know where she kept them either. That's funny. I never thought to ask that. I never thought to go looking for her stash in case I needed one either. Book or movie? Book or movie? I would have to say both. I like books and movies. I tend to watch movies more than I read books right now because because I sleep. Because I can sleep during the movies, put me to sleep, and books do too. That's a problem. Okay. For this one, what do I want to do for this one? Let me look at some of my stashes here. How about dots? That'll go along with the same idea. Let's do 3 dots. Because when in doubt, dot. People, when in doubt, dot. Oh, well, in here, we're just going to have to just not worry about 3 dots. We're just going to put random dots. Yeah, we'll just do random dots because there's not enough room in there to separate the 3 dots. Maybe we can do it here. Chances being so quiet. The catnip must have knocked him out. Okay, so we've got 3 dots. Okay, so we got that one. Let's do it in here too. I think we're gonna add more dots in here. Hi, Mupp. Hi, Miss Muppet. Hi. You want to come say hello? Do you? Muppet wants to say hi to everybody. Get down where you... Here, come here. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There we go. Here she is. She wants to say hi. Yeah, you want to say hi to the people? You say hi to your fan club? You say hi to your fan club? Poor thing does not hear anything much at all anymore. Can't talk to her. Yeah, just can't talk to her anymore. She still likes to have her head scratched. Yes. Don't you? Yes, I know. She's a good girl. She's such a good girl. Yes, you good girl? Yes, good girl. Okay, you can go now. All right. Now she's going to go over and sneeze because that's what she does. When she has her nose up for a little bit, then she's got to sneeze for a while. She's a sweet girl. She's a sweetie girl. Anne says when she's reading, she dozes off and ends up reading the same sentence over and over again. Me too. Me too. I do the same thing, Anne. She's a Miss Muppet. She's a good girl. She's a sweetie pie. Oh, I don't like that question. Here we go. You ready? Here you go. Brand new or old fashioned? Could say vintage. brand new or vintage. Okay, so you guys tackle those questions while I tackle this in here. It depends on what it is. If it's clothes, I prefer new clothes. If it's furniture and stuff like that, I kind of like sometimes I like old furniture. Mostly antique furniture. That's mostly a lot of what I have in my house is antique stuff. Claus Man and I got married. He redid a bunch of furniture. I remember him telling me about going into this this old farmhouse that was up in the community where we lived. He lived, and then I eventually lived. And he went into this old, he said it was an abandoned farmhouse, and he found this bed. It was a full-size bed, antique, beautiful old bed that was not in good shape. And he carried it out of the, it was a headboard and a footboard, carried it out of there and refinished it. And that's the bed I'm still sleeping in. I often wondered, how did you know the house was abandoned? You wouldn't do that today. Probably somebody'd shoot you. I don't think you could get away with that today. Somebody'd probably be living in there. Anyway. That's fun to read all the things that people... Vintage. Peggy likes vintage because she is. Aren't we all? We're all getting to that point. Okay. Here's the next one. East Coast or West Coast? I would say West Coast because that's where my son lives. All right. Let's... what do we want to do here? I'm just going to add a few lines in here. And I'm going to call that good. I'm going to let those other little spaces, for the moment, I'm going to let those live on their own. I may come back and do something in white. I'm feeling like I want to do something with white in those orange spaces, but I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. So we got that happening. We'll do one more little section over in here, and then we're going to call it good for tonight. West Coast, baby. Hi, Athena Ducky. What pens do you use over watercolor? I can't draw Zinting or mandalas with the pens I use. It kind of depends on what the paper is that you've used. If it's bona fide watercolor paper, if it's not too rough, then I would probably try the Pigma pens, the Micron Pigma pens first. If that doesn't work, because you can get them in a wide variety of tip sizes. I know there's other brands of permanent pens out there that some people like better. The other one is to use the Jelly Roll pens. There may be other people in the chat that have suggestions of what they prefer. So you guys chime in and say what you think. Say what you think. Okay, so what I'm going to do now over in this little section is I'm just going to put these little let's go this way. So I'm going to fill in this section over to where it stops. There's a green line there. Okay, and then I'm going to add little crosses in this section. Just because, not for any particular reason, it's just because. And then I might just turn it and so it'll fill this little space with these little patterns. Hope you guys are having a nice relaxing evening. It's kind of low key for me here tonight. Not a lot of super big energy happening. That's what happens when you don't sleep as much as you should have, Barb. I always like it when somebody says my name like that, like it's some swear word. Barb. I've heard that before. Anyway. One of the guys that stood up with us in our wedding, anytime I see him, he says, "Well, hello, Babsy." Sometimes I say hi to him just so I hear him say that, because he's the only person in the world that calls me Babsy. Not for any reason, it's just that's what he calls me. Okay, so we have a little section here, so I'm going to divide it up this way. Okay, and then and then let's go like this. Once you start doing designs like this, it gets easier and easier to do them. But boy, it does take a minute to get your rhythm. To get your rhythm going. Okay, and then I might repeat the little crosses, but maybe make them bigger until we can't make them bigger. And then we'll make them tiny as they fade off into the distance. Okay, and then here, let's just fill in more lines, just because it's such a tiny little space that it's really hard to fit anything in there. Can't believe how quiet Chance is being tonight. My goodness. And then we're going to do this one the same direction here. Okay. All right. I'm going to go over to this space right here. So let's see what else we can come up with. All right, so we got that, and maybe we'll continue that. See if we can make it go at a different angle on purpose. Now, I am notorious for if I'm trying to make it go a different direction or a different angle, that's when I will repeat the angle the same. You know what I mean? It's when I want to repeat something that I have a difficult time doing that. But if I'm trying to make it go a different direction, it will not do that. See, it looks almost the same. Anyway, and so then we've got 3 little sections here. All right, so we're going to do a line and a line, and then we're going to do lines, sorry, I forgot to draw another card. Just a minute, I'll get one. Okay. Old music or new music? I would have to say old music. Old music or new music? For me, it's old music as in classical. I do like a lot of the newer Christian music, however. Casting Crowns, Ellie Holcomb, Laura Story, I do like all of them. Okay, we're going to finish this. I'm sure I've about put most of you to sleep tonight. But maybe that's what you needed. Maybe you needed to go to sleep. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here, try and keep my hand out of it. In here, I'm just going to repeat some of those little... I'm going to kind of do that wonky lines, kind of like that gauze or cheesecloth look. So this wasn't at all what I envisioned doing with this, but it's what I did. So there you go. And maybe we'll finish, I'll either finish this up before Friday or we'll finish it on Friday. I don't know. I envisioned that I was going to put the patterning inside the hands. Instead, I put the patterning outside the hands. And I like what it's doing. So there you go. You like it? A full night's sleep would be nice. Ah, good. Hey, Becky. Jamie, I loved your video on the alcohol ink and the transparency. It's like, it's coming to me. It's bubbling up from the deep. It's coming together. Yes, it's coming together. and suddenly it goes bloop right up to the surface. Okay, so I'll show you where this is going to go in my journal. I'll show you where it's going to go, where it's going to live. And that, whoops, wrong thing. So that's where it's going to live. This is a paper clip, so I know which page it's going to go on. So that's where this is going to live in my journal. Right here. There we go. So that's where it's going to live. I think that's going to be good. I like it. Yeah, I can like it. I can like it. What do you guys think? You like it? I'll show you a couple of the other pages. This is for the VIP group at the website. So this is another page. It's not going to be up high, but it's just here so I can have it. And this one is another one that's going to go in here. So those are pages as well. Yeah. So you got to see me develop this one. So there you go. Not bad. Okay. Thank you. Yes, if you want to send cards for Lena, Miss Linux 2010, to encourage her and have her feel better, you can do that. My address is back at the beginning of the chat. And if you need it, you can always go to HowToGetCreative.com and scroll to the bottom of the page. The address is at the bottom of the page. And you can get there. Yeah, I'm liking how it looks. I am. Anyway, thank you for being here tonight. And I hope that you've, I know it was kind of low key, but listen, you learned all about the insanity of the black trash bag. Insanity is the best word for it. I told you a long story about that with a happy ending. And so anyway, we're going to call it a night, you guys. So enjoy your evening. Do something good for somebody else. Smile. Make somebody else's day. Encourage them. Have fun. You know, spread the good. Spread the good. Just spread the good, you know, spread the good. You'll be glad you did. Makes you feel better. Makes you feel a whole lot better. It certainly makes them feel better. All right, that's it. I will see you on Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, mods, for being here. Thank you, all of you who were here with us tonight. I will see you when I see you. Until then, remember to get creative today because you know it's easy. Yeah, it is. See you later. Bye for now.